Good morning friends, welcome to Sachdeva online tutorials, and today we are over here to discuss upon some topics related to reasoning. That is your new pattern based coding decoding, then you have new pattern of input output, then finally we will have an example illustration of sitting arrangement advanced section. But before moving on for the new pattern of coding decoding, what we have to do is that we have to learn what is alphabet. First of all, the major thing related to the new pattern of coding decoding is the knowledge of alphabets. So for knowledge of alphabets, what you have to do is that you have to recognize and remember the properties of alphabets, as well as what you have to do is that you have to remember each and every alphabet. Along with the place value of alphabets, what you have to learn is the opposite of alphabets. Okay? Now, when we talk about alphabets, then what you can see is that all the alphabets related questions are related in the new pattern of coding decoding. Then you have input output, then again you have questions related to alphabets. So n number of sections are there which are being related to the properties of alphabet. For a past large time, what we have seen to it that कई दिनों से हम देख रहे हैं, कई वर्षों से देख रहे हैं that नए पैटर्न के क्वेश्चंस से बच्चे काफी ज्यादा परेशान हो रहे हैं. But the problem is that कि वो questions बहुत ज्यादा difficult नहीं है. They are not at all very difficult. What they have to do is that relate those questions with the properties of alphabets and numbers. So before discussing the new pattern of coding decoding, what we have to do is that we have to learn the alphabets. So let's begin with the knowledge of alphabets. Our first section, that is your basics of reasoning, and we will begin with the knowledge of alphabets. Now, when we talk about the knowledge of alphabets, then what we can see is, number one, multiples of 5. You might have heard about EJOTI. A, B, C, D, E. Then you have F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and then Z. Now we can see to it is E, J, O, T, Y is E5, J10, O15, then you have T20, then Y25. Yes or no? Now, what we can say is that we can remember this E, J, O, T, Y. That is E5, then you have J10, then O15, then T20, then Y25. Yes or no? But while we are having EJOTI, we are not able to just see our alphabet and then recognize its place value. So for that, what we do is we make it much concise. That is multiples of 3. So when we talk about multiples of 3, we can see to it that we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, X. Yes or no? Now, we can see we have Philorux, CFILORUX. Then C is 3, 6, 9, then we have 12, then 15, then 18, then 21, then 24. Now, that is A, B, C, 3, D, E, F, 6, and so on. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and then 24. Are these not the multiples of 3? Yes. But remembering EJOTI and Philorux is quite difficult in the examination. So what we do is that we have some direct codes for A to Z. Okay? So let's begin with direct codes of A to Z so that we can easily remember the codes of A to Z. Okay? When we talk about direct codes of alphabets, then we have A, B, C, D, E. A is 1, B 2, then C3, D4, E5. Yes or no? Now, what we have is, these are the first 5 alphabets. We have first 5 alphabets. Okay. Now, this first 5 alphabet, I think so everyone remembers. Yes or no? You might be remembering it. These are the first 5 alphabets. Yes or no? Now, next what we talk about is, after E, then we have F6. Now, what is F6? When we say F6, then we have, in computer keyboard, we have 12 function keys. Function keys. Yes or no? When we are talking about the function keys, then what we have is, total number of keys are there 12. And out of which we have to remember a single key, that is F6. I think you can remember function key F6. Okay. Next, what we have is G7. How we will remember G7? The mode of remembering G7 is G for group. And in GS we learn about various group of nations. Group of nations. Then we have group of 7 developed nations, or we have group of 7 developing nations. Okay. H8. What we can see to is this H8. Moreover, if we block the H, then what we have? We have, after blocking it, the H looks like this. Can we say that H is looking like 8? So we can say to it that after blocking the H, it looks like 8. So we have H8. Okay. Now, the next thing is I9. In capital cursive handwriting, what we have is capital cursive of I is equal to like this. Now, the capital cursive of I looks like this, and so we can say it is 9. So, the capital cursive of I looks like 9, so the value of I is 9. When we talk about J10, then we have small cursive. स्मॉल कर्सिव हैंड राइटिंग में हम जे को कुछ इस प्रकार लिखते हैं या नहीं लिखते? नाउ इफ वी गेट दिस डॉट बिलो, इफ वी गेट दिस डॉट हियर, देन वी हैव जे लाइक दिस. नाउ हाउ इज इट लुकिंग? इट इज लुकिंग लाइक 10. सो वी कैन से टू इट दैट इट लुक्स लाइक 10. Okay. Now, you might have seen the cricket match of IPL. Yes or no? Now, when we talk about IPL matches, then we have a team from K. The name of the team that begins from K is Kings. And Kings 11 Punjab. Now we have Kings 11 Punjab. So, we can learn that K for Kings and Kings 11 Punjab. So, we have K11. Then, L12. To learn L12, what you have to do is that you have to remember about Sphylorex that I discussed earlier, the multiples of 3. Now, Sphylorex is CFILORUX. Yes or no? Now, when we talk about Sphylorex, then we have L in the 4th position, and that is 3 into 4, that is equal to 12. That is the 4th multiple of 3 is equal to 12, and here we have 3, 6, 9 and 12. Okay. Now, after L we have M, HIJKL, M. And how can we relate M to a particular number? We have total number of alphabets in English, that is 26, and we take the half of the alphabets, then we have M13. Yes or no? So we can remember it that it is M13. Okay. Now, for M we have M13, the half of English alphabets. But we can again remember it with another method, that is, we can say to it like, M is like this, and there are 3 dashes below M. 1, 2, 3 dashes. Yes or no? So we can say we have 1 and 3 dash. 1 and 3 dash is equal to 13. Yes or no? 1 and 3 dash is 13. So we can say 1 and 3 dash is equal to 13. And another alphabet that is very much similar to M is the water image of M, and its value is 23. So we can say if M is 1 and 3 dash 13, so W can be said as 1, 2, 3, that is 2 and 3 dash 23. We can relate them with each other. So with this formula of dash, we can remember 2 things, that is M13, 1 and 3 dashes, and the water image of M is W. So M23 is 2 and 3 dashes. For first time we have taken 1 and 3 dash. For the second time we have taken 2 and 3 dash. Next, HIJKLM, then we have N14. Again with the same pattern. How we can remember it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4 dashes. So we can say 14. So with the rule of dash, we have 1 and 3 dash 13, 2 and 3 dash 23, then again we have 1 and 4 dash 14. Then again with the same pattern we have x is equal to 24. Then again we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 2 and 4 dash 24. So it is very simple to recognize that we have 4 alphabets that we can learn with the formula of dashes, that is M13, that is 1 and 3 dash. Then again we have W23, 2 and 3 dash. Then we have N14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 4 dashes. Then again 24, that is 2 and 4 dash is equal to X. Yes or no? Now, then MN, then we have O. O is 15. The only method to remember O15 is the center word of EJOTY. You may remember you have E5, then you have J10, then you have O15, then T20, then Y25, that is the multiples of 5. Okay? Now, we can say to it, from both the sides we have 15 in the center, 5, 10, 15, then again we have 25, 20, 15. So we can say to it that the center word of EJOTY is O, and O's value is 15. Next, we have P16. What we have P? Do you know a word from P that is known as perfect? And in mathematics we have perfect square number. Perfect square number. Now what we have is perfect square number 16. If we look at the property of 16, then we have 2 square is equal to 4, and again 4 square is equal to 16. So double perfect square number is 16. So I think you can remember that P for perfect square number is 16. Then we move on for Q17. How can we remember it is? After P we have Q, and the place value of Q is 17. So if we look at the tail of this Q, how does it look? The tail of the Q looks like 7. हम कह सकते हैं ना, Q का जो पूंछ है वो कैसा लग रहा है? 7 के जैसा. So the value of Q is equal to the tail looks like 7. So we can remember Q is 17. Yes or no? It is quite simple. Next, R18. How can we remember about R18? The very simple. For R we have, there is a motorbike named as Yamaha R15. We have a motorbike named Yamaha R15. Now, when we talk about Yamaha R15, then this particular model has been launched for the first time with Yamaha R15, and yet it has not been modified. The only thing is Yamaha R15. So, we the students of competitive exams, we are going to launch a new motorcycle, and that motorbike name is Yamaha R18. So, it's very simple to recognize Yamaha R18. Yes or no? Now, next we have S19. There is a cricketer's name from S, that is Sachin. Yes or no? Now, when we talk about Sachin, then Sachin was good at playing, that is games. He was good at games, and he was not that good in studies. Now, do you understand the difference between 19 and 20 that we call as the difference between 19 and 20? When we talk about 19, then it means thoda kharab, and 20 means thoda acha. Now, in games he was like 20, and in studies he was like 19. So, we are here to learn about studies, not games. So, we will not remember that Sachin was 20 in games, he was 19 in studies. So, S for Sachin, S for studies में 19 थे. इससे याद रहेगा आप लोगों को? S19? Yes or no? Now, the next thing is T20. I don't think so that I have to say anything for T20. It is a very common term, T20, that is 2020 cricket. Yes or no? Now, friends, we have, after T we have 21, that is U21. After T we have U21. How we will remember U21? Remembering U21 is very simple. That is, you can see to it, there is a single one here and one here. Yes or no? So we can say 2 ones is equal to 21. 2 ones, 21. So the very simple method to learn about U is 2 ones. One is here and the another one is here. So 2 ones, 21. 2 ones, 21. Now, I think you can remember it that U is 21. The next alphabet is V22. V for victory. Yes or no? We have a word like V22, that is V victory. And victory is related to 22. This symbol of V is related to victory. So we can say V for victory. Now, when you talk about getting a job, then you need 2 times victory. That is, the first victory is required in your written examination, and the second victory is required in your interview. Yes or no? Now, the first victory is required in your written examination, the second victory is required in your interview. Now, in mathematics, एक और एक कितने होते हैं? 2 होते हैं. अगेन एक और एक कितने होते हैं? 2 होते हैं. बट इन रीजनिंग वी हैव एक और एक 11, एक और एक 11. सो 2 times victory, that is 1 and 1 11, and again 2 times victory, that is 1 and 1 11. So when we join these 2 victories, then we have V22. Yes or no? 2 11s is V22. Any 2 times victory is V22. So you can remember the place value of V as 22. Yes or no? Now, when we talk about W23, we have earlier discussed about 2 and 3 dashes, that is 23. Okay? Then X24, 2 and 4 dashes, that I have discussed earlier. Okay? Now, the next thing are Y25 and Z26. Now, if we talk about Y and Z, then we have the last 2 alphabets. I think that if you can remember the first 5 alphabets, then you may also remember the last 2 alphabets, that is Y25 and Z26. That was for your knowledge of alphabets. Now, as soon as you remember the place values of alphabets, the next thing that you have to remember is the opposite values of alphabets. Okay, so let's begin with the opposite values of alphabets. Now, the next part that you have to discuss about the knowledge of alphabets is the opposite letter codes of alphabets. Okay, now when we are talking about the opposite letter codes, then the very simple method to remember it are like this. A is the first one and the last is Z. So we can say that the opposite of A is Z and opposite of Z is A. So how we will remember it? That is A to Z. Next. एक लड़के को इंग्लिश में हम क्या कहते हैं? We call it as boy. So we can remember it as B का opposite क्या है? Y. So the opposite of B is Y and Y's opposite is B. Now, C's opposite is X. How we will remember it? जो नाव को हम पतवार लगाते हैं ना, तो नाव को पतवार लगाने को कहते हैं coxing, and from that word we have cox. C-O-X, cox. Next. There is an ad in a television that डर के आगे जीत है. For that, this is a tagline of Mountain Dew. So we can say that D-E-W, Dew. D's opposite is W. Yes or no? Now, प्यार को इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं? We say it as love. So we can see that in love we have V's opposite is E and E's opposite is V. Then again, there is a fever. There is a fever that is caused due to a virus known as influenza, and that fever's name is FLU, flu. Yes or no? FLU, flu. Then हमारे देश में एक सड़क बनाई गई थी शेर शाह सूरी के द्वारा. शेर शाह सूरी ने हमारे देश में एक रोड बनाया था. उस रोड का नाम क्या था? G for GT, GT road. That is Grand Trunk Road. Okay. Now the next thing is HS. Everyone over here, or all of you, the students who are preparing for competitive exams, have gone through this school, and this school's name is H for high and S for school. Okay. Now FGH, then you have IR. World's dense railway network belongs to Indian Railways. I for Indian and R for Railways. Yes or no? Then I hope so you might have been playing cards sometime. Then in cards we can see J for Jack, that is known as Gulam, and Q for Queen, that is known as Begum. So we can remember from it is, that is J for Jack and Q for Queen. Then after that J we have K. How we will remember KP? The very simple method you can remember like Kolkata Police, or a very recent movie of Amir Khan, that was PK. PK है क्या? So इससे हम ये याद कर सकते हैं that T's opposite is K and K's opposite is P. Next. Again we have L's opposite O. We have left love over here. Now, in love, first of all what we have is V's opposite is E and E's opposite is V. Then again we have L's opposite is O and O's opposite is L. So from love we can remember that L's opposite is O and V's opposite is E. Next. M's opposite is N. Be like a man, behave like a man, that is M-A-N, man. Okay. Now, this was quite simple method to remember all these. Just go on through the lines that I use to remember these alphabets. Okay. Now, in the next part, we will learn about how to remember it and how to have a practice over the place values and opposite codes of alphabets. Okay. Now, the next part is how to practice the place values of alphabets. The only method, for an example, we have reasoning. REASONING. Now, what you have to do is, R's place value is 18, then E's place value is 5, A1, S19, O15, N14, I9, N14, then G7. Then we have R's opposite is I, Love May EV, A to Z, High School, Love May LO, MAN Man, Indian Railways, MAN Man, then GT Road. Then again we have I9, V22, Z26, H8, L12, M13, R18, M13, T20. Okay. Now, what I have done over here, that thing you have to do in a sentence in English, that is, now, look at this particular sentence. What you can see is that a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. There is a speciality with this sentence that there are each and every alphabet of English present in this sentence. Now, what you have to do is, the thing we did in reasoning, the same thing is that you must do with a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now, when you will recognize that now you have got a proficiency in the place values and opposite letter codes, the time you get this speed that I am going to show you right now, as soon as you get the speed of the place values and opposite, that day you can get that you have got a proficiency in the place values and opposite codes of alphabets. Okay, so now let's begin it. So, we have a sentence, a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. What we are going to do is, A1, Q17, U21, I9, C3, K11, 2, 18, 15, 23, 14, 6, 15, 24, 10, 21, 13, 16, 19, 15, 22, 5, 18, 28, 5, 12, 1, 26, 25, 4, 15, then 7. Now when we talk about the opposite letter codes, then we have Z, J, F, R, X, P, Y, I, L, D, M, U, L, C, Q, F, N, K, H, L, E, V, I, G, S, V, O, Z, A, B, W, L, T. Then again we have the place values like 26, 10, 6, 18, 24, 16, 25, 9, 12, 4, 13, 21, 12, 3, 17, 6, 14, 11, 8, 12, 5, 22, 9, 7, 19, 22, 15, 26, 1, 2, 23, 12, 20. Now, as soon as you get the speed of remembering the alphabets with their place values and the opposite values, and accordingly you have to remember the place values of the opposites, that time you can solve each and every question related to your alphabets, whether it is the new pattern of coding decoding or the questions related to alphabets in input output. Okay, so now the next part will be your new pattern coding decoding. Okay, thank you.